كلمتان حبيبتان إلى الرحمن خفيفتان على اللسان ثقيلتان في الميزان سبحان الله وبحمده سبحان الله العظيم.
Your time is your life, and much like ice, it is constantly melting away. Do not let time go to waste. Know that time should not be without structure. You must order your day and night, organizing your routine of worship and assigning an activity to each period. This is a method for constant remembrance of God, a necessary ingredient in attaining spiritual happiness. Try to awake from sleep before dawn, a noble time, and let the first words in your heart and on your tongue be the remembrance of God. Purify your body and get dressed appropriately with the intention of obeying God. Pray in your home, then make your way to the mosque in tranquility and with remembrance of God. Pray with the congregation, which is 27 times better than a prayer alone. Do not fail to complete this profitable act, for if you are negligent, then what benefit is there for you in the pursuit of knowledge? After all, the fruit of knowledge is in acting upon it. Use your time until sunrise in 4 types of remembrance: supplication, glorification, recitation, and reflection. Reflect upon your mistakes and the nearness of your end, and carefully plan your day with the intention of obeying God. By the light of day, you should strive to occupy yourself with what benefits you in the hereafter. Use your time in one of 4 ways. The first is seeking useful knowledge. This is the best use of time and highest form of worship. Useful knowledge increases your God consciousness. If you are unable to acquire useful knowledge, use your time in extra prayers, or one of the 4 types of remembrance mentioned. The third use of time is to act in a way that will bring happiness to the hearts of believers, or make it easier for the righteous to accomplish good works, such as visiting the sick and feeding the poor. Finally, spending your time earning an honest living, to take care of yourself and your family, is also a form of worship. However, beware of worldly greed, for it will ruin your religion. When the sun turns red, try and spend your time glorifying God. The sun should set while you are seeking forgiveness. One must also set aside time for worldly necessities, family, and community. Before you sleep, review your knowledge. Do not end your day in entertainment, for actions are according to the last of them. Know that sleep is like death, and waking is like resurrection. Be ready to meet God by sleeping in a state of purity, with your will beneath your pillow. Sleep in a state of repentance and resolve to do good to all people if God should allow you to rise again. Do not let your sleep exceed 8 hours, for it is enough that you waste 1/3 of your life. Try to wake in the depths of the night, when the soul is pure, there are no worldly distractions, and the gates of mercy in heaven are wide open. Prayer at this time is a treasure. If this routine is difficult, you must be patient, as a sick person is patient with the bitterness of medicine, waiting for a return to health. Reflect upon the shortness of your life. Every single breath is a priceless jewel because it is irreplaceable. Once it is gone, there is no return for it. Do not be like fools who rejoice each day as their wealth increases while their lives decrease. What good is there in wealth that increases while one's life decreases?
بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم الحمد لله والصلاة والسلام على رسول الله وعلى آله وصحبه أجمعين رب اشرح لي صدري ويسر لي أمري واحلل عقدة من لساني يفقهوا قولي السلام عليكم ورحمة الله تعالى وبركاته. So it's been a long day, alhamdulillah. Welcome to the last and final session of today's workshop. We will cover topics about focus management, time management and habit development, inshallah ta'ala. The idea of this session is to go over two parts of our definition. Two parts of our definition, which is energy, focus and time towards beneficial goal. Right now we'll talk about focus and soon after about time, inshallah ta'ala. We spend most of the day talking about energy. Most of the day we'll spend about talking about energy. We'll now talk about focus and time, inshallah ta'ala. So question, how many minutes can you focus on a single task without being distracted? 10 minutes? 15? 10, 30, 30, 10. Okay. Most people range between 5 minutes to like half an hour before they lose focus or they get distracted. The next question is, why is it so hard to focus these days? Why is it so hard to focus these days? Sorry? A lot of social media. What else? Why is it so hard to focus these days? We live in a materialistic world. We don't prioritize our time. But why is it so distracting? Why is it so hard to focus on a single task without being distracted? What do you think? What's distracting you? What distracts you? Okay, the environment. Okay, yep. What distracts you? Okay, the people around you that distract you. Okay. Yep.
Sometimes we lack focus. That's why we don't focus these days.
That's like saying, "Where's my?" It's ears. Okay. When we say we lack focus, a lot of people blame technology, blame social media, blame the people around them, blame the environment, and blame everything but themselves. And my argument is that when you point a finger at something, there's three fingers pointing back at you. Meaning that when you say that it's so hard to focus, it really is because we love distraction. We really love distraction. We like it. Come on, let's be honest. Imagine you open your phone and there's no new message. You open Facebook, no new likes or comment. You open your WhatsApp, no new message. You're like, what's wrong with my phone? My phone working? Why? Because we love distraction. We love this new information. We love the novelty that comes with distractions. So we crave distraction. We like it because it's new, it's surprising, it's rewarding. We don't know. Maybe it's my friend who emails me. Maybe it's my best friend who sent me a message about something really funny. There's something new and exciting about our phones. There's something new and exciting about what's around us. So we crave distraction. Even at work, when you work and somebody comes and passes by, hey, can I have a chat with you? You will love that, right? It's gossip, we talk, we relax a bit. So when someone comes and distracts your work, we actually welcome it because it's quite, we crave that distraction. So we're gonna focus now. I'm gonna ask you to turn off your phones completely and swap them with the person next to you. So completely shut down your phone, total shutdown. Total shutdown. Shut down your phone completely and give it to the person next to you. Complete shutdown. Shut down, like zero, like black, not silent, like total power off. And give it to someone else. Give it to somebody else. Total shutdown. When was the last time you turned off your phone? Complete shutdown. Phone is off? Yes, who's their phone? What's his phone? Are you okay, sir? Alhamdulillah. Shut down. Shut down. Show me black screens. Show me black screens. Show me black screens. Is that your phone? Is that your phone? It's your phone? Ah, okay. Just double checking. Your phone? All right. Okay. All right. So leave your phones. Just don't take them home with you. I'll tell you when to return the phones. Yes. Yeah. Oh, okay. That's fine. That's fine. No worries. Thank you. Okay. So, how to develop focus? Number one, you need to remove distractions, external and internal. Number two, you need to calm your mind. Number three is to schedule and execute what I call focus sessions. We'll go through each one by one. Number one, removing distractions, external and internal. The three main sources of external distractions. Number one, the internet. Number two, smartphones. Number three, people and the environment around us. These are the three main sources of external distractions. These are things that are external to us that is distracting. So how do we manage these external distractions? With the internet, we can unplug the internet, but that's not going to happen, so let's skip. The next one, disconnect time. Disconnect time is basically giving yourself a time where you're completely disconnected. No WhatsApp, no emails, no Facebook, no connection outside world. Ideally, early in the morning and late at night. For example, when you wake up in the morning and the first thing you do, before saying Alhamdulillah alladhi ahyana ba'da ma amatana nushur, the first thing you do is check your phones. You're completely destroying your focus. Because when you do that, when you do that, you're opening the outside world into your mind. Your mind, you just woke up from a good sleep, you had 4 sleep cycles, you're feeling great, so calm, and then you just open your emails. Oh my God, my boss emailed me. Oh, my friend, da da da. And you start opening up to the outside world and completely destroys you. So disconnect time. Disconnect your phone, disconnect put airplane mode. You want to have a period of time where you're completely disconnected. Think about 2 mornings. The first morning you woke up, you didn't check your phone, you made wudu, you prayed, did adhkar, read Quran, exercised, had breakfast, went to work, started something really important, and then you checked your phone. Compare that morning with woke up in the morning, oh my God, start checking your phone, text messages, and getting so distracted, and just getting so pulled with distracted. You woke up stressed. You can't focus on your salah. You can't focus in your Quran. You go to work thinking about what to say in that email, and you're just completely distracted. Disconnect time is really powerful. Disconnect time gives you that opportunity to protect that first hour. You are in control of your focus. Don't let the outside world control your focus. Don't let the outside world pull you and distract you as they like. You choose when to check your phone. You choose when to go in and start and want to distract yourself. But don't feel like I'm at the mercy of these devices. Stop desktop notifications. Imagine I'm working and somebody, like while I was working, goes, hello, and be like, hi, I'm working, leave me alone. And then you work, 5 minutes later, hello, you're like, dude, let me go, I'm working. Then you work, hello, you will punch that guy in the face. The thing is, we allow our phones to do the same thing. Dee-dong, dee-ding, doo-dong. Every 30 seconds, we allow our phones to distract us. Or we allow desktop notifications. Like ding dong ding ding, your friend has just signed in. I don't care. I'm trying to get work done. So stop these notifications. Don't allow these notifications to basically pull you away from what you're focusing on. What I recommend you to do is completely turn off your notifications so you don't see those red badges. You know those annoying red badges? You have 53 unread messages, right? And it's red. Why is it red? It's not pink or blue or green or yellow. It's red. So it attracts attention. Like, oh my God, I have 53 messages on WhatsApp. I have to see what's inside it. But if you turn off these notifications, I have no idea. I could go inside my WhatsApp right now and probably there's 100 messages. I have no idea. I check my phone, I don't see anything. I don't see that annoying red badge. So turn off notifications. Turn off that. You choose when to go inside your message system. You choose when to go inside Facebook. You choose when to go. Don't let these annoying red badges distract you from distract from what you're focusing on. Make yourself invisible. If you're on Facebook or Skype and you have to have those things on, which I doubt you have those things on, either turn them off or make yourself invisible. Because someone sees you online, your friend sees you online, they want to chat with you. Hey, what's going on? Long time. And then they distract you. So make yourself invisible online. Same thing with smartphones. Disconnect time. Hide your smartphone. The studies have shown that even having your smartphone within visible reach, like if you have your phone in front of you while working, there's a nagging feeling. I just want to check my phone, just 5 seconds. Just like that one flip, right? There's that nag inside of you. Something bothering is like, I just want to go quickly and see what's inside, and then you get distracted. And that's, again, what you want to do is completely hide your phone. Put it into the drawer, put it in the floor, put it in your bag. Just do not have it within your visible vicinity. Put your phone on silent. And if you really, like sometimes I get questions like, hey, I'm a doctor, or sometimes my son, I have an emergency at home, how would I know? If you really have to, there are some options on the phone these days where you can allow certain phone calls to go through. Like example, I have favorite call numbers. Example, for me, if my wife is calling me, then it comes through, favorite calls. I know it's something important. She knows that I have to call right now, so I'll get a phone right through. But other than that, it goes silent. Some people have 2 phones, a work phone and a home phone. Think of ways for you to manage your distraction. Manage your distraction and not be distracted. Again, you might think, well, what's the point? I'm fine, I'm working fine, I can check, I can multitask. Trust me, you are not able to multitask. When you multitask, every time you switch, when you check your phone and then switch back, it takes 25 minutes for your brain to come back to the same level of focus as before you were distracted. So it's really not worth you wasting 25 minutes of focus just because of one quick checking your phone. And nowadays we live in a world where the difference between successful people and unsuccessful people is those who can focus and those who can't. Simply, this is now the world we live in. Because everything now has become more about mental work, then if you really want to become those who are successful, you have to develop your focus muscles. Your focus muscles will become the differentiator between you and the person next to you. If you can't focus in school, you can't pass. If you can't focus at work, you won't develop quality work. If you can't focus with your family will be lost. If you can't focus in your deen, in your salah will be wasted. Focus is an absolutely essential skill. Unfortunately, we are wasting it right, left, and center. So the first way to reclaim your focus is turn off notifications, have disconnect time, stop anything that can distract you, hide your smartphone when you work, and really be very conscious of when you use your phone and when you don't use your phone. Or when you have things online and you don't have things online. Finally, you might think, okay, fine, smartphones, internet, I can have disconnect time, I can turn off my phone. What about people? I can't shut them up. I can't put them on mute and silent. You know, I have people, I have friends, family, children. How do I manage distractions by people, my boss, my colleagues? Here are some tips. Have a solitude zone. Have a place where you can be alone for even once a day. I know a mother of 4 children, and she literally has like a little tent inside her house. And she goes inside the tent. She goes, it's mommy's me time. She literally like hides herself in her tent because she gets some time alone. So have some solitude zone. You know, think about being, have some time to be alone. That helps you to, recover your focus. If you are in an environment, let's say an open office environment, which is a total disaster in my view, hide. I used to work in a library, used to work in a cafeteria, I used to work in the park. I used to go other places. I would find a spot, even just 1 hour, 2 hours, so I can get some quality work done. Because I knew if I was in the middle of this environment, then the noise, the people, the chatter will disturb me. If you can't leave the office, maybe, for some reason your boss likes to see you sitting there for 8 hours, then you can put your headphones on and play what's known as white noise. White noise is like waterfalls, ocean noise, a thunderstorm, anything that's kind of in the background, like you can play in your ears, and that will tune out the distractions that's happening around you. So if you really have to sit in an environment which is very noisy, put on headphones, put on white noise, and that will tune out what's around you, and that's another way to focus even if you're in a busy work environment. Go outside if you can, and of course wake up early. Wake up early so that you go to work early so you get the most things done early in the morning before all the bosses and the colleagues and the meetings start ahead. Any questions so far? Any questions so far on how to manage external distractions? Question there? Yeah.
Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullah.
Wa alaikum assalam.
Please, more elaboration on solitude zone.
Yeah.
More elaboration.
Sorry?
I need more elaboration on it.
So basically find a place to be alone. Especially if you're somebody, sometimes it could be a musalla. You go to stay alone. The Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam, sometimes he'll be walking through Medina. He's a busy man. His people always coming to him, his family, his community. Sometimes he would go inside a garden in Medina and he'll sit alone. Until sometimes Abu Bakr would join him, Umar al-Khattab would join him, but he'll sit alone. And then also we hold the story about him going to Ghar Hira and spending months alone. So spending time alone, that's why doing i'tikaf once a year at least, it helps you to gather your thoughts. Because we're always with people, always sort of buzzing around with people, family, friends, work, colleagues. Sometimes you need to just be alone so that you can gather yourself, gather your thoughts. That's why being in the masjid alone, being in i'tikaf is a powerful way. Having a place at home or a place at work, somewhere we can just spend time alone, just for a few minutes. It doesn't have to be like long, 3 hours, even half an hour, 1 hour. It really helps you to gather your thoughts and develop your focus muscles. Yeah? Your question? You have a question on the side? You raise your hand? Yep.
Assalamu alaikum wa
Wa
rahmatullah.
alaikum assalam wa barakatuh.
There are some internal noises. Perhaps you're working and you're thinking about something else.
It's coming up. Internal distractions. Okay. Internal distractions, so those are the external distractions, the things that are outside, the internet, smartphones, the people. Internal distractions are thoughts, like you mentioned. Could be negative thoughts, could be reliving the past, could be worried about the future, negative emotions, envy, jealousy. These things, you can have your phones off, you can have the internet off, you can be alone, but if these things play in your head, you cannot focus. Negative thoughts. Secondly, workspaces. If your workspace is disorganized, your desk is disorganized, your desktop is disorganized, your room, your office is disorganized, this clutter that's outside has an impact inside your head. When there's clutter outside of you, it has an impact inside of your head. Finally, if your life is disorganized, you're involved in so many projects, you have so many unnecessary commitments, you can't say no to people, right? Family, friend issues, these things also take over your thoughts. So these are internal distractions. How do you manage them? For negative thoughts, the most effective way, of course, number one is to have that spiritual connection with Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. That's why Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alayhi wa sallam used to seek refuge in Allah from 8 things. Allahumma inni a'udhu bika min al-hammi wal-hazani wal-'ajzi wal-kasali wal-jubni wal-bukhl min tala'i ad-dayn wa qahri ar-rijal. That he used to seek refuge in Allah from ham. Ham is concern about the future. And hazan is sadness over the past. So you seek, just like a'udhu billahi minash shaitanir rajim, just like you seek refuge from shaitan, he seeks refuge. Allah, Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam used to seek refuge. Oh Allah, protect me from ham, worrying about the future, and hazan, concern about the past. Or min al-'ajzi wal-kasal. Ajz is to being deficient, saying that I can't do anything. I'm stuck. I can't do anything. And kasal is laziness. Means you're able to do it, but you're just lazy. So ham, hazan, ajz, kasal. Jubn is cowardice, being a coward. And bukhl is miserliness, being miser, don't want to spend money, don't want to give. And ghalabat ad-dayn, being overpowered by debt. Wa qahr ar-rijal, being overpowered by men. So think about this. We call this the productivity killers. We have a whole article on Productive Muslim called the productivity killers. Are these 8? Worrying about the past. Worrying about the future. Concern about the past. Feeling deficient, being unable to do something, or feeling lazy, or being a coward and not being courageous enough to take those actions that help you towards your goals, or being miserly, don't want to spend to achieve your goals, or debt, or being overpowered by people. So these are the productivity killers. So the Prophet Muhammad ﷺ used to seek refuge in Allah from those 8 things. So when you have negative thoughts take over you, make that dua. Make that dua. And connect to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Remember who Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is. He's the one who can help you with those negative thoughts. Talk to Allah. We don't talk to Allah. We just say the same words over and over again and not really converse with Him. Talk to Him. Tell Him what's going on in your life. Tell Him what's going on in your thoughts. Tell Him what you're worried about. Talk to Him, and really it's a beautiful feeling. Develop that relationship with Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Don't make it so mechanical or so transactional. Okay, I'll just say this du'as, I'll just say this, repeat these words and I'm done. Really connect to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And really, show Him. That's how the prophets, when Yaqub alayhi salam lost his son, he used to say, إِنَّمَا أَشْكُو بَثِّي وَحُزْنِي إِلَى اللَّهِ. I expressed my sadness to Allah that he lost his son. So talk to Allah. Really express yourself to Him. That helps you take care. So no matter what you're worried about, when you talk to Allah and you make dua asking for help, you feel like a burden has been lifted. You know that somehow it'll get sorted. Because you've had that conversation, you've had that connection with Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, and of course make dua as well. Number 2 is write it down. If you have negative thoughts, emotions bothering you, write it down. Write it down, and write it down in a journal, in a small pen, whatever. Just write it. Sometimes when you write something down, it helps put things in perspective. For example, let's say you had a fight with your boss and you're really upset. So you come back to your desk and you're buzzing, you can't focus, you just are so annoyed, or you had a fight with your spouse, you had a fight with your children. Something's really bothering you. Write in a third person. Meaning, for example, let's say my boss saying, Muhammad had a fight with his boss, Ahmed. Ahmed said to him that his presentation was really bad. Muhammad was so upset because he stayed up all night doing this presentation. So write in a third person. That way you take yourself off the situation and you're writing in a way as if you're writing a newspaper article. And that gives you perspective. Because they start thinking, well, what did Ahmed mean? What did Muhammad mean? And you see it from a third person perspective, instead of seeing from your own perspective. So write in a third person. Finally, write objectively. Meaning, as I said, don't write saying who's blame, but write what happened? Why this thing happened? What are the reasons? Maybe you realize, actually, my boss was upset with me because his boss really wanted his presentation. And you realize, oh, I kind of messed up. So put things in perspective. The last point is to talk it out. Talk out to a mentor, to a scholar, to a coach. Someone who will help you. Don't talk to someone who will add fuel to the fire. She said that? No! Oh my God, don't stay quiet, go slap her back, right? Talk to someone in a way that will give you solid advice, non-judgmental advice that can take action on, inshallah ta'ala. Any questions on this? Any question on this? So this is how you treat those negative thoughts. And this helps you to focus. Because when you, number one, talk to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, it takes off your mind, you know that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala will take care of it. Number two, when you write it down, it takes off your mind, put a piece of paper so it's not sitting in your brain. Number three, when you talk it out to people as well, it also helps you basically think about the situation from a different perspective. So these three ways helps you figure out how to deal with the negative thoughts. Any questions so far? Question there?
Okay, I feel like, okay, that's short time. Let's take an example where I want to achieve something, but, okay, I focus for the time, maybe I'm not connecting to people, I'm not on my phone or I'm not on anything. But then when I get, like, I want to achieve this thing, I'm focused on it, I really want it and everything. But when I go connect to the people, maybe they discourage me about it. And then after I start thinking, oh, by the way, why am I doing it? But when I get back, so how do we focus in long-term focus, you know?
Okay, so if something is really important, you should know the intent. Again, back to intention. You should know why you're doing something. Personal example. I was told many times, Muhammad, forget Productive Muslim. It's this nice little blog. Focus on your work. What are you doing? Don't leave your job. Focus on, you have a good career. But for me, the why was very clear. The intention was very clear. So I kept on pursuing. Even though family, friends, mentors, everyone's saying, Muhammad, you're really throwing away your career. And you're going to be, what if this thing fails? What would happen? All these thoughts comes to you. But these three helped me out. I spiritual connection. Hey, I talk to Allah. Allah, should I continue or not? I pray istikhara. Should I continue or not? And I'm making dua, Allah, if it's not the right thing, let me know. And that spiritual connection helps. Write it down. I write down what is my intention. I write down why this thing is important. I keep on writing down. And I talk to people who, other mentors and coaches say, no, this can be done. No, you can achieve this. Actually, it makes sense. There's a lot of potential here. So these three things help me push through. So it's a constant process. It never ends. It never ends. Till today, I still get doubts. It happens. It's normal. It's human. But come back to these three, and you'll find at least a way to keep on moving forward. And not having only one source of thoughts. If someone says this is not going to happen, there's probably 10 people say, no, this is really a good idea. So always surround yourself with what we call advisory councils, people you support who are non-judgmental, who really try, who can give you some solid advice. They can tell you, hey, this thing, maybe not. Or actually, you're right. This thing has potential, but you have to work hard on it. So you have to have that advice, inshallah. Yep. Okay. Now, if you come in the morning and your desk looks like this is a recipe for distractions. What you want to do is come in the morning and your desk looks like that. The clutter outside your head, the clutter around you, has an impact inside your head. You notice when you go to your desk or go to your kitchen table or go to your home and it's nice and clean, your brain is just more clean, calm and focused. But if you're distracted, if you have so much stuff all over the place, you'll find yourself harder to focus. That's why at the beginning of the day and at the end of the day, make sure your desk is clean. In between, it's fine. In between, it's fine to have this stuff because you're working, you're busy. But before you leave your work, or before you leave your kitchen table, or before you leave your room, make sure it is clean and pristine. It has an impact on your focus. It's like the clearer the environment, the cleaner the brain inside you. So declutter your desk. Your desktop, if your desktop looks like that, 1 million files open up on the desktop. Declutter, remove all these files. What I sometimes do, just drag, copy all these files, put them in one folder called archive or something. And then have a nice clean desk. It helps you focus as well. Let me show you something. I use a software called distraction-free software. Okay. This is called distraction-free writing software. I use this to write my articles. I use this to write my book. I use this to write anything I want to write long. I use this article. it uses software. It's available for Windows and Macs. Just Google distraction-free writing software. The whole screen goes black and nothing but just the words you type on you can see. It's really sweet. There's no distractions, and you find it really, really hard. You find it easier to write long articles. So this is a great way if you want to write reports, if you want to do some more thinking and writing. The whole screen goes black, just what you see on the screen, and becomes a much easier way to write things down. So this is an example of how you declutter your workspace so that you can focus on what you need to get done. Declutter your office. Again, if you work at home or room, clean it up. Trust me, it has an impact on your studies. It has impact on your work. It has a real impact because you're thinking, oh, this thing needs to go there. Oh, that thing needs to go there. Oh, this thing. Your brain is constantly thinking about all the stuff that's around. But if it's clean, everything's in its own place, it's easier to focus. Your home as well. If your home is a mess, you gotta clean it up. Clean it up. It has a difference. It makes a difference. Any questions so far?
Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
Wa alaikum salam.
I just want to ask a question on distractions. I don't know whether I'm taking you back. You talked about internal or external distractions. You didn't mention anything to do with food. I know quite a number of people that are distracted by food, whether in public or at home or wherever or in office. What do you say about that? Then my other question, I don't know whether you'll get to that, or it's also part of distraction, but it also tackles anything to do with salah. When does a Muslim take tayammum? Sometimes our work environments have very dirty toilets, or you really need to go for salah, but there's no way you can go and have wudu. Is it relevant for me to take tayammum? So when does a Muslim take tayammum? Thank you.
So regarding the second question, I'm going to apologize. I cannot answer the question because I'm not a scholar. So that question is for ask your local imam, local scholar, who can give you the fatwa on that one, inshallah ta'ala. On the first question regarding food being distraction is a good point. And this comes back down to the point where we spoke earlier, where if your food does not give sustainable energy, if you have food that after 1 hour it crashes, you'll feel the urge to go grab a cookie. You'll feel the urge to go grab a Snicker bar because your food that you're eating is not helping you, it does not release energy slowly throughout the day. So it kind of keeps you like, you barely last 1 hour with the food you have and you feel hungry again. So you go and grab something else. And then you eat something quick, and then after one you feel hungry again. So you go and snack something else. So food becomes a distraction when you don't eat on those foods we spoke about earlier. Low GI food that takes slowly to burn. Secondly, another way to do this is to give yourself only specific breaks. For example, for me, I'll have breakfast in the morning, and then I'll have a 10:30 break. 10:30 in the morning, that's my half an hour break. That's my coffee break. So I only snack at 10:30, and then I'll have lunch, and then I'll have dinner. So I try my best not to allow myself all the time just to go and grab something from the kitchen, come back. It's about making sure even your snack is scheduled, basically. Any questions?
My question is again about the distractions. You know, people have different personalities. Like there's a person who finds it easy to work and is an active person and they can throw themselves easy into work. Then there's another kind of person who has a lot of thoughts or is a daydreamer sort of kind of person. Like personally, like I can look at, for example, a pen and I start thinking about the pen, where I bought the pen, who gave it to me, and my thoughts just wander. So how can you gather your thoughts back and focus if you're that sort of person who has a lot of thoughts in their head and just can get distracted by just seeing something small?
Got it. So for that person, what I recommend, number one, is to remove everything from your table and put it on the floor. And then just pick the one thing you need to focus on and start working on that. Now, if a thought comes to your mind, write it down and then carry on with the work you have to do. Sometimes just because Sometimes your brain is like, oh, but this is a really good idea. I love this. Okay, don't worry. Just don't panic. Write it down and come back to the original work. And that way you kind of hold yourself and not get yourself distracted. Okay. Any question on the side? Yep.
Jazakallah khair fi dunya wal akhirah. I wouldn't like to go irrelevant, but I would like to know if this is the general question time or such that I may ask this question, inshallah.
Repeat again, second.
Are we asking generally for whatever we've covered since morning, or it is just
about this, inshallah, about this topic?
Okay, under nutrition, I would like you to give us more tips or encourage us, we the youths, to use these days of fasting, because it is proved that fasting also helps on our productivity levels, inshallah.
Absolutely. Yeah, we in our 2-day workshop, we actually go deeper in nutrition. We talk about spiritual managed nutrition. One of the spiritual tools for nutrition is fasting, definitely. 2 days a month, 2 days a week, once a month even. Those things actually do help your productivity. But that's our 2-day workshop, so I didn't cover it today, but yes, fasting definitely helps as an impact on your nutrition. And it's not about makes your productivity lower, it actually improves productivity. We did a study, I asked one of my friends who's a productivity expert, he's non-Muslim, I asked him to fast 3 days with us, and he's a productivity expert. And he fasted 3 days of Ramadan with us, and he wrote a beautiful article on productivemuslim.com how fasting actually improved his productivity. So there's actually studies on that, so I recommend you check that out, inshallah. Okay. Now we spoke about decluttering your thoughts, decluttering your workspaces. The last point, decluttering your life. If you find yourself that I'm overwhelmed, I have so much stuff to do, I don't know where to start. What I recommend you do is a simple exercise. On one big piece of paper, write down all the projects, all the tasks, everything that's on your mind. Literally, just sit down and just write, what do I have to do? All the stuff that's in there, just write it down. And then ask yourself 4 questions. What should I delete? Meaning, what should I say, you know what? Forget this, I'm not doing this anymore. What should I delegate? Meaning, ask somebody else to do. What should I defer? Means I should delay to another time. And what shall I do? Mean, what should I myself do? What should I delete, delegate, defer, do? Because sometimes when we're involved in so many things, we think we're superhuman, right? But sometimes you just say, you know what? I can't do everything. I have to say, you know what? I'm sorry. You call that person, I'm really sorry. I can't commit to volunteering for this project. I'm really sorry. I can't focus on this. You have to really set the boundaries. Say, you know what? This is what I can do, and just delete everything else. You have to start learning saying no, because it's not about saying, oh, I'll feel bad, but saying that I just don't have the capacity. And whatever you're asking me is not a priority. My default answer normally is no. Like someone asks, how much can you do something? I'm like, no. That's my default answer. Unless it's really important, I'll say, okay, fine. Let me think about it and I'll come back to you. But my default answer is no, because I know if I say yes to projects, we will never ever be able to achieve success. We'll be involved in so many things and we won't achieve success. You have to learn to say no, because you realize that's why it's so important to know what is it you want. When you know the need of your life, when you know what you want in life, you'll be able to say no to what other things. But if you don't know what you want in life, anything that comes up, okay, I'll do it. Yeah, sure, bring it on. And then you're like, oh, I'm too busy now. So learn to delete. Secondly, delegate. This PowerPoint presentation, do you think I did it? I did the content, but the design, the pictures, the colors, I didn't do it. I delegated. I could have spent like 10 hours putting together the pictures and colors, make sure the fonts sign up, but that's not the best use of my time. I did the content, I put in the words, what I want each slide, and I forwarded it to a designer and said, hey, here's some money, design this presentation. And within 1 week, I got a beautiful design presentation. That's a way to optimize yourself. It's not saying, oh, I could do it. Yeah, I could do the presentations, but is that the best use of my time? Delegate as much as possible. Nowadays, you can hire people online to do your work. I have an online virtual assistant. All my staff are online. Some of my staff, I never met my staff ever. Some are all online. Delegate. Whether it's friends, family, delegate. Things you should not be doing, delegate somebody else. Defer means delayed. Sometimes you don't have to do everything now. Sometimes like, you know what? I can wait 3 months for this project. I can delay this till next after Ramadan. That's fine. As long as you know why you're delaying it. You don't have to do everything now and stress yourself. If you cannot delete or delegate or defer any of these things you wrote down, then you should do it. Then you say, you know what, now I'll do it. These ideas come from a book called by David Allen called Getting Things Done, which is a really, really powerful book. I attended one of their workshops. It was really helpful. So a good book to have on this topic is Getting Things Done. How to delete, defer, delegate, and do. So that's managing external, internal distractions. Sometimes you want to calm your mind down. So back to the question about if your mind is still buzzing. How can you calm your mind down? Again, you need salah. Exercise helps a lot. If you find yourself stressed and your mind is not calm, going for a jog, going for an exercise, it helps to calm your mind down. Also breathing. So I want you all we'll breathe in till 6 and breathe out till 8. So breathe with me. Breathe in, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Breathe out, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Breathe in, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Breathe out, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. One more time, breathe in, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. One more time, breathe out, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. What this does is that this calms you down. If I was to measure your heart rate right now, your heart rate will be dropping as you're breathing out. And that calms you down. So if you're stressed, if your mind is kind of calm, if you're like agitated, if you're like, you had a bad traffic accident and you're just like, I need to calm down, breathing can help. It's a very quick way to calm yourself down. Last point, to calm yourself down, calm your mind down, is to build a trusted system for your brain. Our brains are supercomputers, but they're not the most organized supercomputers. Example, my wife tells me, Muhammad, go grab bread, milk, pasta from the supermarket. I go, yeah, sure honey, no problem. I go to the supermarket, I go grab bread and milk, come home, pasta! I forgot the pasta, right? All the guys are laughing because they remember doing this. Because why? Because our brains don't have a special file that says grocery list. It doesn't have a special file that says, oh, things to do at work, things to do at home. It's all jumbled up. And that's why sometimes we get weird ideas at the wrong time. How many times have you had an amazing idea just before sleeping? Or an amazing idea in the shower? Or an amazing idea in salah? It just comes at the wrong time. You're like, why now? Right? It's like, why now? I could be thinking as well. But because your brain keeps on jumbled up. So to solve this issue, you need a trusted system. You need a place where your brain can trust. For me, it's this little guy here. This little notebook. This is my trusted system. Anything that comes to my mind, anything I need to write down, any to-dos, any grocery list, I write down this little notebook. And it goes with me everywhere. And my brain trusts me. Once it's written down here, my brain can relax. I know I won't forget it, and I'll relax. It does not remind me of this thing in salah or in the shower room. So I have built a trusted system that is searchable, retrievable, accessible. Searchable, I can quickly search through here and find what I had to find. Retrievable, I can retrieve the data. Accessible, it's quick. I see my jacket or in my wallet, in my pocket. You can use your phone, but personally I don't like to use phones, but if you can use your phone to capture things. But this is your trusted system. This is where you just write things down so that you don't lose it out. You don't forget you don't keep things in your brain. Your brain is not to keep things. Your brain is to process, is to think through things. It's not about just to keep things. Now, once you've captured something, once a day or twice a day, go through this trusted system and start processing it. Saying, okay, grocery list, okay, I need to go to the market and do that. To-do list, I need to put in my to-do list. Start processing it. Take the stuff out of your trusted system, and put them in the right place. Put some in the calendar, put stuff in your address book, so on and so forth. For example, for me, I have this master to-do list. So I'll write stuff down in here during the day. Then at night, I would open something called Opening Focus, if I can open it. Oh, there you go, starting. Okay, so this is my master to-do list. All my projects, everything that I need to work on is captured. So once I capture it in the day in this little notebook, at night it's okay, where does this go? And I put it on my master to-do list. So now I know how to, I follow through on this one. So this is an example of building a trusted system so that your brain doesn't panic. It doesn't think, oh, you'll forget this. So let me remind you of the wrong thing at the wrong time. Any questions? Any questions? Okay, so that's how you build trust, calm your mind. The last point of focus management is how to schedule, execute your focus sessions. Now that you understand how distractions work and how to manage distractions, and now you understand how to calm your mind down, what you want to do is every day you should identify what is your most important tasks and block time out in your calendar to really have a focused session on those important tasks. For example, maybe your important task is to write a book. Maybe your important task, memorize Quran. Your important task is to finish that report. Your important task is to spend quality time with your child. Whatever important task it is, make sure you identify it in the morning and block out your calendar. Minimum 25 minutes, maximum 90 minutes. And this is called your focus sessions. Have 2 to 3 focus sessions per day. These are deep focus sessions. What do you do in focus sessions? You turn off distractions, you focus on one thing only, and you use a timer. I use a tool here called Be Focused Pro. Again, you can think of any timer that works for you. And I will set this timer. I'll put the task, for example, I'm working on the retreat website. So then I'll put the timer on and I'll work for 25 minutes. And then the buzzer goes up, that means done. I will take a break, 5-minute break, and then I'll start again, 25-minute timer. This is a way to also beat procrastination. Those of you who struggle with procrastination, this is a great way. So if you have a task that you're like, I don't feel like doing it, choose the task, block time on your calendar, to remove distractions, set 25 minutes, and start working on it. After 25 minutes, take a break, and then start working again. This is a way to beat procrastination. Any questions so far? Any questions on focus management?
Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa
Salam. Can you raise your hand? Can see you.
Okay, I skipped in the other previous chapter of calming our minds through exercises.
Yep.
I don't know, when is it, what should somebody use as a refreshment and in which time of interval after doing an exercise? Should you do it immediately, or if it is immediately, what should we start with in the hierarchy?
Say it again, say it again, say it again. I didn't hear you.
We talked about previously about calming our minds.
Yep.
Now I'm asking about if you are to refresh yourself, do you need first take a shower, or do you need to take a glass of water? Then at what speed? If it's a fruit, what should be the hierarchy of the refreshments?
For the break or for what? Yeah. Exercise doesn't matter. Shower, eat. Doesn't matter. Doesn't matter. As long as you exercise, I don't care what you do afterwards. As long as you exercise, it doesn't matter. It's fine. As long as you don't eat any unhealthy food afterwards, it's a different story, but yeah. Yeah.
Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullah.
Salam kat.
You talked about when we have internal distractions,
Yep.
when we journal things. I normally write down a lot. Sometimes I can be there and I write a lot. So, but it bothers me also. I go back to the list that I wrote about 3 or 4 years ago. I find that perhaps there is 90% that I wrote that I wanted to do that I've not done. Or priorities change. You find that you want to do this project, you feel it's so nice. Then 2 years down the road, things change and you're still journaling in what you want to do in 2 years. So you find that you write a lot, and then when you go back to review, you find that most of them, perhaps priorities change. doesn't that also bring you more confusion?
So the advice there is to review often. So it's almost like agile management. You have a general intention. For example, you're running a business, right? And you have many projects within your business. Some things are so important. Some things after a while are not so important. So you have to always constantly be reviewing because it's life change. You know, that's the one thing constant about life is change. Things will change. Things will always change. But the question is, are you proactive about it or just reactive about it? Are you going to be like ahead of the curve, or are you going to wait till things change? Oh, that didn't work. Well, let me start another thing. So always be proactive and be flexible enough to realize that I need to change. And some things will make so much sense 10 years ago, but now like doesn't make sense at all. So that's natural. I won't see that depresses you. I feel that should tell you to keep on evolving, keep on saying, well, what's next? What's next? What's important next? Unless there's something that you feel is really important. For example, let's say you want to write a book, right? And you really want to write that book. After a while, 2 years, 3 years pass, and you're like, yeah, I wish I could write that book. But then you know it's important. Then I would recommend you to make it your focus sessions. Start building MIT, most important task, schedule time for it, and start, reignite that passion, that reason why you wrote that, why that project was important to you. But if it's something that it's obsolete, outdated, doesn't make sense to do it now, then you forget about it, move on. Just move on. Yep.
Thank you very much. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. In these other things, I have focus.
Yep.
At work, it's okay, but in prayer, so many distractions come in, especially the spiritual ones. I start thinking about this and that and that and that.
Got it. So what you want to do is prepare yourself for salah. So half an hour for salah, when adhan goes off, half an hour for salah, you start to calm yourself down. Think of your brain like a fan, ceiling fan. You know when you turn off the ceiling fan, it doesn't stop immediately. It slows down. So you want to slow yourself down before salah and get in the mood of salah. So slow down for salah, make wudu slowly, walk to the masjid. All that thing kind of calms, gets you in the mood for salah. Pray this tahiyatul masjid, read some Quran, make dua. By the time the iqamah starts, your brain would have been really got into the mood for salah. But if you just work, and then, I have to pray, Allahu Akbar. Just that sudden switch, your brain is still buzzing, has all these other ideas, right? And sometimes what happens is like, you need to bring your focus back. Now, the Prophet Muhammad taught us that there was one Sahabi who came to Rasulullah and said, Ya Rasulullah, I feel distracted. Okay, I feel I get distracted in salah. Imagine, Sahabi is complaining that I feel distracted. The Prophet ﷺ said that is a shaitan called khinzab. He comes to try to take away your reward for salah. When you feel that there's a waswasa, there's someone trying to distract from salah, you should say like quietly, A'udhu Billahi Rajim, and you go like this. 3 spits, like no khatu, right? Don't hurt the guy next to you. But like, very, very softly. That approach, that actually works. So I was like confused how this is actually done, but then I saw somebody do it, and I realized it's very easy. If you feel like, you have a lot of thoughts, you're playing in your head, and then like very quietly, on your left hand side, and that's it. And you'll see that it resets your focus for salah. This is from recommended by Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam. Okay.
Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
Where are you? Okay. Yes, please.
I would wish to be clarified on something. Like for instance, I think different people have got different distractions depending on their jobs. Which advice would you give to a receptionist, for instance, who's supposed to answer phone calls, emails, receive people, and so on, and after working like for 3 hours, is already stressed up? Which advice would you give such a person?
But that's their job, right? I mean, it's not like, I'm saying distraction is something distracting you from your job. But for receptionists, that is their job, to answer phones and emails and to greet people. So distraction is defined as something that takes you away from what you're supposed to focus on. If that receptionist has to finish a presentation, for example, then maybe she has to like hide and unplug the phone, but then her job is lost probably. So if that's the job, then that's the job. Like I get someone who works in the support center, call center, that's their job, pick up the phones, right? But someone like even someone like receptionist or call center, their phones can be distracting. How many times you see a receptionist, she's on her phone, or he's on her phone, and it's like, excuse me, I'm here, can you help me? 5 minutes, I'm very busy. I once went to an immigration officer, I won't tell which country it is. I landed in the immigration office. I went to the immigration line, and he said, "Oh, put your 4 fingers for fingerprinting." So I put my 4 fingers, and then nothing. And I kept on pressing, nothing. And then I looked up. The guy's playing Candy Crush on his phone, literally playing Candy Crush. I'm there thinking my finger's not working or something, but he's like playing Candy. That is distraction. See, that is also distraction. So you got to be careful about that. We have to move on. We have to move on. Okay, one more question. Go ahead.
Okay, thank you. Assalamu alaikum. When should multitasking be done? Because it is inevitable in some situation. Multitasking. Multitasking.
What's that?
Multitask. When can you multitask?
Multitasking. Okay. Never. Okay. Wait. There's 2 types of multitasking. If you 2 things that require mental, for example, being on the phone plus writing an email. 2 things requires mental activity. You should not do that, because if you do that, that's distracting. However, if it's something physical, let's say, I don't know, you're cooking and talking on the phone, or you're hoovering and listening to an audiobook. If it's a physical activity and a mental activity, then you can multitask. But if it's 2 mental activities or 2 physical, if you like hoovering and cooking, then you can't. Your brain, what the brain does, it switches between the tasks very quickly. And you think you're being efficient, but you're tiring yourself. It's actually very tiring. That's why you should try to focus on one thing at a time. And if it's mental activities, one thing at a time, unless it's mental and physical, right? And that's where you can multitask them then. Okay, you can take back your phones. Take back your phones before you forget about them. Okay? And that's focus management. Okay. Managing time. The next 3 sessions are very, very short, like 2-3 slides each, so they won't take you much time. But just to give you a break, you just stand up. Stand up, stand up, stand up, stand up. I need a volunteer. Everyone's scared now. Mubarak is like, no. Alright, Mubarak, man. He's a sport. Come on. Come on. So, we'll play a game. Oh, we have a volunteer. Actually, we have another volunteer. Let's try him. We have, we play a game called Boom Boom Tak Tak. Okay? This is Boom Boom Tak Tak. Boom Boom Tak Tak. Boom Tak. Hey. Boom Tak. Boom Boom Tak Tak. You got it? Boom Boom Tak Tak. Boom Boom Tak Tak. Boom Tak. Boom Tak. Boom Boom Tak Tak. Easy? Let's do it slowly first. Slowly, okay? Together, slowly. Okay? Boom, boom, tack, tack, boom, boom, tack, tack, boom, tack, boom, tack, boom, boom, tack, tack. Got it? You got it, guys? You got it? Okay, let's go a little bit faster. A little bit faster, okay? A little bit faster. Boom, boom, tack, tack, boom, boom, tack, tack, boom, tack, boom, tack, boom, boom, tack, tack. Okay. We're being professional now. Now I'm going to go super speed. Super speed, okay? You ready? 3, 2, 1. Boom, boom, tack, tack, boom, boom, tack, tack, boom, tack, boom, tack, boom, boom, tack, tack. All right, thank you. Have a seat. You go back home, you'll tell your family, I learned boom boom tak tak. Okay, managing time. There was a really beautiful video, I don't think you can play it because of the audio, but this is, I'll send this as part of the presentation will be sent around, you can watch this video. It's actually a beautiful video, Imam al-Ghazali. Let me see if I can play it from online. No, we can't. Yeah. Imam al-Ghazali describing, is an animation of how Imam al-Ghazali taught us how to manage our time. It's a very powerful video. You'll get it as part of the presentation that'll be sent to you, inshallah ta'ala. When we think about time management, what comes to mind? You know, if I tell you manage your money, how do you manage your money? How do you manage your money? Sorry? You invest your money, what else do you do? You give some in charity. What else do you do with the money? How do you manage your money? Sorry? You don't spend too much. You check your budget. What else? Okay. What else? You try to earn more of it, right? You try to earn more. You try to spend less. You try to budget. You try to invest. You try to allocate some money for different expenses. This money is for phone bills. This money is for children. This money is for, my shopping. That's how you manage your money. The problem is people always say time is money. I don't agree with that, because time is not something that you own. Time always moves. You cannot stop time. You cannot take time, and it's just constantly moving. It's like trying to manage sand as it falls through your fingers. You cannot control time. That's why the term time management, I don't agree with. But what I agree with is how you manage yourself within the time Allah has given you. There's a difference. Managing time itself is impossible because you do not own time. But how you manage yourself within the time Allah has given you. Because sometimes, like we spoke about, this whole day, by the way, was about time management. Energy management, focus, that's all about time management. Because if you sleep well, eat well, and are able to focus, you can do more with the time that you have. If you can bring barakah in your time, you can do more with the time that you have. So you see, so time management is not about managing time, it's about managing yourself and making the most of your time. This is the key difference between, as Muslims, how we perceive time management. It's not about managing time, because you cannot manage something you do not own, you cannot control. But you can manage yourself within the time Allah has given you. So with that in mind, what are the practical tips to manage your time? The first thing is to understand when is it that you have the most energy. I did this exercise once with a coach who helped me manage my own time. And okay, trying to find this. Yeah, okay. So I tracked my energy levels for 3 days. And then I sent my data to this coach, and he gave me this graph. He told me, Muhammad, this is how your energy is. So I started in the morning around 5 o'clock. Before 5, I'm getting energetic. My peak hours are 8:30 a.m. till 11:30 a.m. And then I dip. Then I have my lunch and I take a nap. Then it goes up again. And then it's the downward hill from there. So by now I'm really tired. I'm really knocked out. Okay? But what this taught me was that I'm not productive all the time. I have certain hours where I feel very productive, and certain hours I feel less productive. So if you want to manage your time, ask yourself, when do I feel most productive? And when do I feel least productive? And then you schedule the hard tasks when you're most productive, and you schedule the easy tasks when you're least productive. Does it make sense? Instead of trying to do everything every time, you need to ask yourself, when do I feel most productive? And when do I feel least productive? So measure your energy levels. And how you manage your energy levels? Basically, the way I track it, very simple. I put the time, 5 o'clock, 6 o'clock, 7 o'clock, on a piece of paper. And for 3 days, I give myself a score, 1 to 10. 1 means I'm really tired. 10 means I'm very energetic. And then for every hour, let's say 6 o'clock, how do I feel? I feel like a 3. Okay. At 7 o'clock, how do I feel? I feel like a 5. Okay. 9 o'clock, how do I feel? I feel like a 10. So I start tracking my energy levels from that worksheet, and after 3 days, you'll see a pattern. You say, okay, I feel energetic, let's say, between these hours. Therefore, I should do my most important tasks in those hours. When I saw that graph, I canceled all meetings in the mornings. I said, you know what? My best hours in the morning. I'm not going to have meetings in the morning. I'm not going to have calls in the morning. I'll delay my calls. I'll delay my meetings. So measure your energy levels. That's the first step. The second step is to set your priorities. Ask what are my most important tasks, what goals am I working towards. Work towards at least one important non-urgent task in your life. And make sure those tasks are connected to your akhirah, as we'll come to in a minute. The third steps is to use our daily plan or any plan in the day. We have something called the Taskinator, which you have it in front of you. And this works very simple. You look at all the different categories: Islam, family, work, personal development. And ask yourself, what's my most important task under Islam? What's my most important task under family? What's my most important task under work? What's my most important tasks under personal development? And then I schedule them in. I actually block time. So on the right-hand side, I will put the time and I'll schedule them in. This is the practice sheet. You don't have to print out these every single day, but just start thinking about what are my most important tasks, not only for work, but even for Islam, for your family, for personal development. And then really block time out for them. If you don't block time out for these things, life will take you away. If you don't block time out to spend time with the children, if you don't block time out to teach your children your Quran, if you don't block time out to recite Quran, if you don't block time out for napping and for sleep and for exercise, trust me, you'll never get it done. You need to block time off for them. Because if you don't block time off for them, your day will go by and you will not be achieved. You want to be proactive. Now someone says, Muhammad, I plan my days, but I never stick to my schedule. I would say it's better to start your day with a schedule than without a schedule. It's better to start with your day and say, Ya Allah, this is my niyyah, because this is your niyyah. So Allah, this is my niyyah. Today, at 9 o'clock, I'll do this. At 10 o'clock, I'll do this. 11 I'll do this. And if things go as you planned, alhamdulillah. If things don't go as planned, alhamdulillah. Fiha khair, it's good in it. And reschedule the next day. Never saying, oh, what's the point? What's the point of me planning my day? It never goes according to plan. Plan and adjust and readjust and tweak your plan until you get to a level where you understand how to plan your days. So that's with allocating your tasks. Now you can do this also on a weekly basis. There's another worksheet called the Weekly Taskinator. Helps you to plan your week. Same thing. Every day of the week, ask yourself, what's my project of the day? What are the 3 most important tasks I got to do for that project of the day? What resources do I need to get this done? And how much time I want to spend on it? So this is a way to plan your weeks as well. I do a weekly review. Every Friday, I do a weekly review. I ask myself, what did I do last week? And what do I want to do next week? And what will I do when? And I should start planning my week in advance. And that way you stay productive and stay focused on your most important tasks. Any question on these 4 steps? You first measure energy. Then you set your priorities and your goals and important tasks. You allocate your tasks. And finally plan your week. Any questions on that? Okay. Some quick tips. Make sure you identify time wasters. Cut them out. Really. I hate saying this, but sometimes we waste a lot of time in our life. We really do. I mean, some people watch hours of TV, hours of sports, hours of Facebook, hours of YouTube. And you really ask, is this the best use of my time? One of the names of the Day of Judgment is Yawm al-Hasra, the day of regret. And it says that not only the disbelievers will regret that they did not believe, but even us as Muslims will regret. We'll say, I wish I spent more time in ibadah. I wish I spent more time productively. I wish I spent more time in a way that pleases Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. But because we wasted our time with so much things that do not add value. I mean, really, do you think that last week's season 2 of Prison Break really makes a difference in your life? Will make a difference in your akhirah? It doesn't. It really does not add zero value. Zero value. I'm not saying don't watch TV, don't watch sports. I'm saying just give it its due attention. Balance it out. Do you really, really want to waste your hours, waste your days, and and people say, oh, I don't have time. I mean, we need to think about those time wasters. And the more you start putting goals for your life, the more you realize you don't have time. There's some days I just don't have time for TV. It's been years since I sat down and watched an actual TV show. It's like you don't just have time for it because you have so many things to do. It's not that you're busy. You're not busy. You're relaxed. But it's just you don't have time for things that don't add value. I'd rather spend time with my wife, with my child, with my parents than wasting time on just, on things that don't add value to my life. So identify time wasters, cut them out. Group similar tasks together. calls together, emails together, cleaning together. Try to group similar tasks together. Don't do like, I'll clean one bit and then I'll do some work and then I'll come back, and try to group similar tasks together. It helps you be more efficient. Understand the task before executing it. One of the biggest wastes of time is you not knowing what you're supposed to do. So identify the task for executing it. Allow time for unexpected events. When you plan your day, when you plan your week, build in buffer time. Build in a time where you think, okay, I don't plan minute by minute, hour by hour until you kind of can't breathe. If something wrong happens, if an emergency happens, it ruins your day. Give yourself some breathing space. Something you might think takes half an hour might take you an hour and a half. So give yourself some breathing space. Always be ready for idle time. Like I mentioned, even at least remember Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Never be caught off guard. I carry a Kindle with me, a book with me, my notebooks everywhere I go. Because I know that if I'm stuck in the traffic or stuck at the doctor's appointment or stuck waiting for a lecture to start, I have something to occupy my time. Delegate, delegate, delegate. If you can learn how to delegate, you can multiply your time. If you know how to delegate to other people, it's a powerful, powerful tool. This is what productive people really do. They know how to delegate. And of course, never forget to schedule time for family, for naps, and of course, most important, for salah and your spiritual time. Any questions on these time tips? Okay. Some apps, some tools to help you manage your time. Of course, try to think of a calendar that syncs with your laptop, syncs with your phone. Especially, online calendars that works. Google Calendar that syncs with your phone. Some calendars have a travel time feature that tells you how long it takes you to get to your meeting. Pomodoro, what I mentioned earlier, the 25-minute timer, is a great way to schedule yourself. Rescue Time is an app that sits on your computer. This is for those who work in office. It sits on your computer and records everything you do. And it sends you a report end of the week saying, this is how much time is spent on Facebook. This is how much time is spent on Gmail. This is how much time is spent on other things. So it gives you a really powerful way to track your time and realize how much you're spending time. Any questions on managing time? The key message there is that if you can manage yourself within the time Allah has given you, you can manage your time. But if you think that you're superhuman, that you're always going to be productive, you can't. Now it's about automating all of this stuff. We learned a lot today. We learned about how to build productive habits, how to improve ourselves, how to basically, take a lot of actions. But most of you asked this question early on. How do you stay consistent? How do you make sure you don't fall off the wagon? This is where habits and routines are very, very powerful. Prophet Muhammad ﷺ said that the most beloved deeds to Allah are those that are consistent, even if they're little. And that's the message for you today. Don't take everything I taught you today and try to make it one day. Like I said, product is not an event. But choose one or two things and say, how can I build a habit around this? Maybe it's nutrition. Maybe it's fitness. Maybe it's 7-minute exercise. Maybe it's turning off your phone, disconnect time. Choose one thing. Don't choose everything. Please do not do that. You will not be able to change everything overnight. Changing behavior is very, very hard. So for that to happen, you need to think about how habits work. For habits to work, you need a trigger. Something tells your brain it is time to do this new behavior. For example, trigger for 7-minute exercise. When I come home from Fajr, or when I wake up, when I finish my Fajr prayer, my Subh prayer, I'll do 7-minute exercise. So it's a trigger. Something reminds you this is the new time for your new habit. Then you do a routine. What's that routine? Because I'll do 7-minute exercise. I will, for example, I will turn off my notifications. I will think of a routine, some new routine you want to do for yourself. I will read 5 pages. And then what's the reward? How will you celebrate that you've done this new habit? So let's go through some examples. Habit, I want to pray Fajr on time. Trigger, Fajr Adhan or new alarm. Routine, I get up, I go to the bathroom, I get ready for salah, and I go to masjid. Reward, I feel great spiritually, physically. I want to read before sleeping. Trigger, I get into bed. Routine, I read 5 pages from a book next to my bed. Reward, I feel intellectually developed. I want to pray tahajjud or witr prayer before sleeping, for example. Trigger, I make wudu before sleeping. Or trigger, I brush my teeth. After brushing my teeth, I'll make wudu. Routine, I'll make wudu and I'll pray my witr prayer, for example. Reward, I get reward by Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. What's a new habit? I want you to choose one thing you learned today. Just one thing. And think, how can you make it a habit? Just choose one thing. From everything we taught today, whether it's waking up early, whether it's sleep, whether it's nutrition, whether it's fitness, whether any of the topic, anything small. It could be, for example, I will nap. So trigger, when I finish praying dhuhr. Routine, I'll lie down for 20 minutes. Reward, I feel refreshed. Choose one thing only. Just spend 2-3 minutes on this. One thing only. One thing you learned today. What's the trigger? What will remind you to do it? What's the routine? How will you do it? And what's the reward? Why are you trying doing it? What's the reward? One thing only.
Assalamu alaikum. Assalamu alaikum. I want to be clean when I go to sleep. So the routine, I will make wudu. And the reward is that even the trigger, in the evening, at night as I go to sleep. Or after Isha. Yeah. Routine is I make wudu. I get to bed, then the reward is even though I sleep and Allah decides.
Just another reward for that. The Prophet ﷺ said that when someone sleeps with wudu, an angel comes and covers that person and keeps making dua for the person. Oh Allah, forgive this person, for they have slept in a state of wudu. So the whole night an angel's over you, just making dua for you. So that's a beautiful habit. Well done. Somebody else. What other habits you want to develop? What other habits? Yep.
Jazakallah khairah for everything that you've delivered to us. The habit that I've learned is always recite the Quran for an early day revision or boost, inshallah. Jazakallah khair. The trigger, the reward about that is boost, early boost, inshallah. Early in the morning, probably if there is time before Fajr prayers or after Fajr prayer, after Fajr. Half a juz. The reward is for every half, for every letter, it's 10 rewards and a boost.
Good one. So for those, again, you have to be specific. What's the trigger? Don't be like, oh, I'll do it in the morning. Oh, I'll do it in the evening. Oh, I'll do it after lunch. Be very specific. The trigger should be a clear reminder. Now is the time for this new behavior. The routine should be also very clear. How many pages of Quran read? What exercise will you do? How many pages of the book will you do? What will you do? Be very specific, and the reward becomes very clear. So, building a habit is easy, but staying consistent with it, that's the hard part. Okay? So how to stay consistent? The best idea to stay consistent is a 30-day challenge. It takes 21 days for a habit to stick to your brain. 21 days. So let's say you're starting to pray Fajr on time, or starting to make wudu before sleeping, or start to recite Quran every day. It takes 21 days before this habit sticks to your head. Before that, it's not a habit. Before it's just a new behavior. Your body, your brain is getting used to it. So 21 days before your habit sticks to it. And then 66 days before this becomes almost a permanent habit. So the 30-day challenge, you have something called the Habitator, another worksheet you have, where you choose one habit per month. Let's say something spiritual, recite Quran every day, or make wudu before sleeping, or pray witr before sleeping. Or something physical, like 7-minute exercise every day. Or not eating sugar the whole day. Or something social, like calling your mom, or spending time with your children. And then you stick to this habit, this one habit, for 30 days. After 30, so you try it every day you do it, you give a tick. Once you complete 30 ticks, you know the habit is now almost permanent. Next month, another new habit. You add it here. So at the end of the year, you'll have about 12 habits, 12 new habits you've done for yourself. 12 new habits you developed for yourself. So this is a very, very powerful way to develop the focus on new habits. So write it down, make it clear, make it actionable. Now this is a Habitator, it's online on website. And you also get it by email. But be careful, you will quit. Within 30 days, you will quit. Why? Loss of interest. You don't care. Oh yeah, I'm supposed to do a 7-minute exercise. Too tired. Lost interest. So ask yourself why. The why is the one that will drive your interest. Number 2, forgetfulness. You forget. You forgot that you have to make wudu before sleeping. You forgot. So make sure the trigger is very powerful. If the trigger is powerful, you won't forget. Number 3, unclear guidelines. I'm supposed to be healthy. What does healthy mean? I need to exercise. What exactly will you do? Be very clear guidelines. And number 4, unforeseen obstacles. Something that really comes to you that you find unforeseen obstacle. These are 4 reasons why you will hurt your habit. Any questions so far? So your homework, pick a habit you want to start or stop. Identify the habit loop, which is trigger, routine, reward. 30-day challenge, and avoid the pitfalls. Yes, please.
Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
Wa alaikum assalam wa barakatuh.
While doing the 30-day challenge, if you miss a day, do you go back to day 1 or do you just continue from where you stopped?
Good question. If you miss a day from the 30-day challenge, if it's just one day, it's fine. If you miss like 5, 10 days, start again. So normally I give a 5-day kind of like, break. So if within 30 days, if it's once you forgot in the week and then next week another 1 day, if it's one-off's fine. If you consistently forgot for 2-3 days in a row, 5 days in a row, then I would suggest you start from the beginning because you're not taking it seriously enough. Ask yourself, is it loss of interest? Is it forgetfulness? Is it because it's not clear guidelines? Or because I had to travel somewhere? So I would recommend try to stick to 30-day challenge. That's why Ramadan is a great time to change habits. Ramadan is a beautiful time. It's a 30-day challenge for you to develop new habits, and that's a very powerful time to develop new habits. Okay, so wrapping up, we end with a beautiful topic on how to be productive after you die. It's a great way to end the topic. So, can we be productive after we die? Can we be productive after we die? Yes or no? How? Sadaqatun jari, correct. The Prophet ﷺ taught us, actions of the son of Adam are seized by death except for 3. A righteous child, son or daughter, a continuous charity, sadaqah jariyah, or useful knowledge that's beneficial to people. So, this is my wasiyah to you. If you want to be productive, make sure that you invest in those three things. Don't leave this life without you investing either in your children or a continuous charity that will help other people or some useful knowledge you leave behind. Our time in this world is limited. We're here for what, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, 70 years? And if you waste all that productivity, the energy, the focus, the time, if you waste all of that in things that don't help you invest in your akhirah and don't help you keep you going, that even in your grave you're still receiving the reward, then this is something very serious to worry about. So my wasiyah to you really is to think about how can I invest your energy, your focus and time towards raising good children who will love you and make dua for you after you die. A sadaqah jari that does not stop. Think of sadaqah. No, nowadays we think of sadaqah jari, oh, I'll just build a mosque, I'll just build a charity. Think of a sadaqah jari that lasts 200, 300 years. Make sure, even if you build a mosque, make sure this mosque is sustainable. Make sure there's a waqf that supports it. Make sure that this thing that it's really continuous. If you're going to build a well, make sure this well won't break down in 10, 15 years. You don't want to be like, oh no, I'm in your grave and the well that you built stopped working. You're like, oh man, and none of your sons forgot about it. Build sustainable, continuous charities. Have trusts, have a system in place. And finally, invest in useful knowledge. Develop new knowledge. As Muslims, we need to work back on giving knowledge. It's not about just Islamic knowledge. Anything that's beneficial. عِلْمٌ نَافِعٌ يُنْتَفَعُ بِهِ. A beneficial knowledge. It could be anything. It does not have to be Islamic Sharia knowledge. So think about how can you invest in learning, in research, in writing, in publishing. Invest in writing online. Invest in beneficial knowledge that supports you. These three things will help you lead a truly productive lifestyle. And now we come back to our definition. How to become productive is how you manage your energy, your focus, and your time towards maximizing your reward in the akhirah. That is the ultimate beneficial goal we have to focus on. It's not about getting a career advancement. It's not about just getting $1 million in your business. It's about maximizing your reward in akhirah and receiving the pleasure of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. When you stand before Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala after 30, 40, 50, 70 years, and He's pleased with you because you spent your energy, your focus, and your time to do everything possible to please Him, then that is a life worth living. That is a life that inshallah ta'ala will be rewarded for. And I hope that this really brings things in perspective. I hope that this really makes you think about productivity. It's not about getting things done, but it's about managing your energy, your focus and time so that you maximize your reward in akhirah and you meet Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala and Him being pleased with you, inshallah ta'ala. With that, I ask you to forgive me if anything I've done which is wrong or said incorrect things, and ask you to say thank you. May Allah reward you and bless you that you spend the whole day with me here and really, inshallah ta'ala, benefited. Please take this knowledge. Unfortunately, I cannot stay longer here. I'm traveling tomorrow, but you'll get the slides, you'll get the worksheets. Share this knowledge with your family. Share this knowledge with your colleagues, with your friends. Share this knowledge with your community. You'll have the slides. And we at Productive Muslim want to support you. If there's anything we can do at Productive Muslim to support you, we can. Just a quick briefing about Productive Muslim before we wrap up, so that you know what we do at Productive Muslim and how we can support you after this workshop. Okay. Oops. Okay. Alrighty. Okay. So the Productive Muslim Company is a social enterprise that is dedicated to boosting productivity in the Ummah. That's our vision, that's our mission. We want to revive productivity in the Ummah. We bring the best of Islamic knowledge as well as the best of productivity sciences and bring them together to produce work and solutions to help Ummah become more productive. We're based in the US, in Texas, but we have teams around the world in many, many countries. In fact, I had one team member also from Uganda as well. She was very supportive as well. We are on Facebook, on Twitter, on YouTube, on Instagram, over 1.2 million fans on Facebook, over 100,000 fans on Twitter, 5 million views on a YouTube channel, and 22,000 on Instagram. We've won many, many awards over the last 10 years, including this award from the government of Dubai for our work in Islamic economy. We work on 4 fronts: media, our articles, newsletters, animations, infographics, podcasts, books. Just go to productivemuslim.com, you'll have access to all of this for free. We also have the Productive Muslim Academy. This is our research center, our online academy. Also, there's live workshops part of the academy. And we do webinars. We also do retreats where we go to a different country for 7 days and live the Productive Muslim lifestyle. If you're interested, this year we're going to Mauritius in July for 7 days to live and experience what it means to become a productive Muslim. We do consulting for individuals, organizations, schools, and we also have an online store that we sell products. We have our book, the Productive Muslim book, which basically talks about everything we spoke about today into one book format, the Productive Muslim. You can set your order with Brother Jamil. We have these animations, seminars. We've been over 12 countries so far. This is our 13th country. And we do the animations and retreat as we mentioned earlier. So how can we help you? We're here to support you any way we can. So come online, go to productivemuslim.com, subscribe to our newsletter. You'll get weekly emails sent to you with ideas, tips, techniques, tools to help you, support you. We also do workshops for organizations and workshops for companies as well. So with that, again, I want to say thank you so much. I'll put my contact details here on the screen, so you can feel free to contact us anytime. We want to hear from you. Any feedback you have, I know there's feedback forms for this workshop. Any feedback you have, please do share. Jazakumullah khair. Subhanaka Allahumma hamdik. Ashhadu an la ilaha illa ant. Astaghfiruka wa atubu ilayk. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi ta'ala wa barakatuh. Brother Jamil, over to you.
Takbir. Takbir. Energy, focus, and time. I think those of us who are still in this room, yeah? A profile about the presenter. We'll send you the links. They're on the material he has left us that we're going to share with you. I think all of us here, we've had the energy, we've had the focus, and we've had the time. There are some forms that we've put on your table for evaluation. We want your feedback, your evaluation. But the key thing we are taking away from here is for us to be productive. We need to put the energy, we need to focus, and we need time. Okay? We need to manage the time. Okay? And another thing I've learned, that time is not money. You can't sell it. Right? Now, we've asked you to register for the book, for the order. I'm going to take the list. We have a list, and I'm going to communicate to our colleague in Dar es Salaam. So those who haven't registered yet, please do. As I was coming to the front, someone hinted that she wants to go for the retreat. So probably even those who would like to go for that retreat in July, we can also register. Okay? And then we shall liaise with Brother Muhammad and see how we can get there, inshallah.
Just one thing I need a favor from you guys. There are millions of people online who would like to know what's happening in this room. So I'm going to do a quick Snapchat with you guys. You don't mind? So I'm going to go 1, 2, 3. You'll say productive Muslims. Deal? All right. 1, 2, 3, go. This is Productive Muslim Uganda. Thank you so much. You guys were absolutely awesome. Jazakumullah khair. Takbir. Awesome. Thank you. That was awesome.
Finally, before you walk out, we would like to take a group photo. Okay? Okay. You come up here. Please, let's finish the photo, then if you want to talk to Muhammad, talk to him.
Second thing to do is boom.
Thank you. Jazakallah khair. Thank you for coming and have a wonderful weekend. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.